How Alexander won every single battle he fought. Most generals win battles. A few win campaigns. But only one man in history fought over 20 major battles across 11 years and never lost, not even once. How? Not because Alexander had the biggest army, not because he had the best weapons, but because he invented a new way of fighting, a system so advanced that modern military academies still study it today. This is how Alexander the Great became the undefeated master of ancient warfare. Let's begin. 1. The secret weapon, the Macedonian phalanx. When Alexander took command, he inherited a weapon forged by his father, the Macedonian phalanx. But this wasn't the rigid, slow-moving Greek phalanx. This was different. Why it was unstoppable? Soldiers carried sarissas, spears up to 18 feet long. Each row of men overlapped their spears like a moving wall of iron. The first 5 rows could stab forward at once. Shields were smaller, allowing faster movement. Training was brutal. Drills every day. Imagine facing a forest of spears, advancing with perfect discipline. Most enemies never even reached the front line. This was Alexander's anvil. But an anvil needs a hammer. 2. The companion cavalry, Alexander's hammer. Alexander didn't just command the cavalry, he led it, charging at full speed into enemy formations. His elite unit, the companion cavalry, was fast, heavily armored, extremely well-trained, and fiercely loyal. Alexander used them to deliver the decisive blow in nearly every battle. Here's the formula. 1. The phalanx pins the enemy in place. 2. Enemy becomes stuck, unable to maneuver. 3. Alexander leads the cavalry in a devastating flank attack. 4. The enemy collapses. Simple, brilliant, deadly. 3. Combined arms, centuries ahead of its time. Alexander didn't rely on one type of soldier. He used archers, slingers, elite infantry, light cavalry, heavy cavalry, engineers, siege weapons, naval support, all working together in synchronized waves. Today, this is called combined arms warfare. Alexander was using it 300 years before Julius Caesar and 2,000 years before modern armies perfected the concept. 4. How he read the battlefield like a chessboard. Alexander had an almost supernatural ability to read terrain. He understood where the ground was soft, where cavalry could maneuver, where choke points formed, where visibility was worst, where the enemy commander would likely move. He used the battlefield like a weapon. At Isis, he used a narrow valley to neutralize Darius's numbers. At Gaugamela, he exploited gaps in the Persian line. At the Hydaspes, he faked a nighttime retreat to cross the river unseen. He wasn't reacting, he was predicting. 5. Speed, his most underrated advantage. Alexander believed speed won wars. His army could march 30 to 40 miles a day. Cavalry could strike before enemies even realized he'd moved. Cities surrendered simply because they knew Alexander was coming. He didn't give enemies time to gather reinforcements, form alliances, fortify cities, plan ambushes. His campaigns rolled like lightning across Asia. Every delay favored his enemies. Every hour gained favored Alexander. 6. The Siege of Tyre, engineering genius. At Tyre, Alexander faced a fortress island surrounded by deep water. Any other general would give up. Alexander built a stone causeway half a mile long through the sea. He turned an island into a peninsula. He built siege towers taller than Tyre's walls. He built massive catapults to fire over the walls. He converted ships into floating artillery platforms. Tyre fell. Alexander had shown the world, "You can hide, but I will reach you." 7. Logistics, the invisible war. Alexander never won battles by accident. Behind every charge was a logistics machine. Food secured through diplomacy or intimidation. Supplies moved via pack animals and captured ships. Local guides hired for unknown regions. Engineers repairing roads and bridges. Army kept fed, paid, hydrated, and motivated. He understood a simple truth. Armies don't march on glory, they march on grain. 8. Psychological warfare, breaking enemies before the fight. Alexander didn't just defeat armies, he defeated minds. He used fear as a weapon. Lightning-fast attacks, sudden appearances, mercy to the obedient, devastating brutality to the defiant, rumors that he was descended from gods. When Alexander approached, many cities simply opened their gates. He understood that a terrified enemy is already half defeated. 9. His leadership, followed because he bled with them. Unlike kings who commanded from a palace, Alexander fought in the front line. He was wounded repeatedly. An arrow through the lung, deep saber cuts, a spear that nearly killed him in India. His men saw him risk his life every battle. They would march into hell for him because he went first. Leadership by example wasn't a strategy, it was who he was. The final result, a perfect war machine. When you combine the phalanx, defense, cavalry, offense, combined arms, integration, engineering, siege mastery, logistics, sustainability, speed, surprise, psychology, fear, leadership, loyalty, you get one outcome: an undefeated empire builder. No general in history mastered all these fields the way Alexander did. Not Hannibal, not Caesar, not Napoleon. Alexander stands alone. The brilliance that shaped the world. Alexander didn't just win battles, he redefined warfare. His strategies are still taught in military academies. His innovations reshaped empires, and his leadership turned ordinary soldiers into legends. But brilliance comes with a price. In the next episode, Spread of Greek Ideas, we explore how Alexander's victories unlocked a golden age of science, medicine, mathematics, and culture that changed the world forever. Subscribe to Hidden History FactVault.